Hello everyone, and welcome to our Bright Ideas session on streamlining grading in Brightspace. We are excited to have you join us today. Before we get started, I want to let you know of a few housekeeping items. So closed captions are available. Feel free to turn them on or off depending on your needs. The Zoom Q&A box is open for any questions that you may have throughout today's session. Please keep questions specific to today's topic. We'll do our best to answer any questions during the session. But if you don't see your answer while we're together, be sure to check the Q&A report that we will send in the follow-up email. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on the Bright Ideas for Higher Education YouTube playlist. You can expect to see that video posted within the next week or so. In the coming days, we'll also send all the registrants an email with a link to that playlist, a copy of the slide deck from today, which contains additional resources, and the Q&A report from today. Let's kick things off with our agenda. We'll start with some introductions, clarifying some terms, then we'll have an overview of the grades tool along with supporting tools for streamlining the grading process. From there, we'll explore these tools in a live demonstration. And to wrap up, I'll point you to some additional resources and leave time for discussion and questions. A little bit about us. My name is Christina Bifus, and I'm a customer enablement specialist here at D2L. I have my colleagues, Victoria and Heather, with me today. They will be answering any questions that you may have in the Q&A and posting resources for you in the chat. Before we get too far, let's align on some terms. So D2L is the company that we work for. Brightspace is our product. It's a learning management system. And depending on where you work, you might call your Brightspace instance something different like Avenue to Learn or PowerEd. Although your LMS may go by a different name, as long as you're here, they should all refer to Brightspace. The Brightspace community is D2L's free online website where members can find great teaching and learning information, share best practices, and connect with other professionals using Brightspace. We will add the link to the chat for you to register for the Brightspace community if you are not yet a member. So we're going to take a look at the grades tool. The grades tool in Brightspace is a centralized space where instructors can record and manage grades from assignments, quizzes, and discussions all in one place. It integrates seamlessly with other assessment tools in Brightspace, making it easy to track student performance. Instructors can customize the gradebook using grade items and categories to fit their course structure, and automatic grade calculations can be used to save time while reducing errors. Plus, the built-in data analytics provide valuable insights into class trends and individual progress. So from the student perspective, the grades tool offers a clear, organized, and accessible view of their performance throughout the course. Our class progress tool provides a clear overview of how the entire class is progressing, with detailed insights into individual student engagement and performance. It connects directly with the grades tool, allowing instructors to easily monitor students' grade trends alongside other indicators like content completion and login activity. Instructors can customize which progress indicators to display, focusing on what's most relevant to their course. Plus, with the student view feature, students can also see their own progress, creating a more transparent, supportive learning experience for them. And the last tool that we're going to take a look at in the environment is the Quick Eval tool, which offers a streamlined overview of all items that need to be evaluated across your courses. So graded activities from assignments, quizzes, and discussions are displayed in a single sortable list, making it easy to prioritize your grading workflow. items that state in the quick eval tool until feedback is published. So nothing slips through the cracks. And for quizzes, only those questions requiring manual grading, like written responses, will appear. So that helps instructors to focus on what actually needs their attention. Now we're going to head into the demo portion of this webinar. So by the end of our demo, you'll be able to have a solid understanding of how to set up and manage the grades tool in Brightspace, including how assignments, quizzes, and discussions integrate with the gradebook. You'll be able to interpret grade-related statistics, use the class progress tool to monitor student achievement, and you will have seen the platform from both the instructor and learner perspectives. Finally, you'll be able to manage grading and feedback using the Quick Eval tool at both the course and organization levels efficiently. So let's take a look. So here we are in a test course that I prepared for us. And the reason we're looking at this test course is because it's a brand new one where the gradebook has not been set up. I'm going to access my gradebook from my nav bar here where it says grades. If you don't have that option in your nav bar, it can always be accessed from your course admin tool. So I'm going to click on grades and it's going to take me over into the gradebook, which automatically lands on the grade setup wizard because I haven't yet set up my gradebook. So the setup wizard is then going to prompt me to set up my gradebook. And it's going to take me through 7 pages, which is going to help me to customize what my gradebook looks like. So the setup wizard is just a really great starting point. It's going to ensure that your gradebook aligns with your syllabus and how you plan to evaluate your students. So I'm going to click on the start button here, which is going to direct me to choose a grading system. So I've got some options here, and for many instructors, the weighted grading system is preferable because that would align to your how you've weighted certain items within your syllabus. So for example, if there's an assignment category, it can be weighted for a certain amount of the final grade. If there's an exam, those sorts of things. So I'm going to select weighted here to start and then continue. Next, we're going to choose whether to release the final grade or I can release the calculated final grade and adjusted final grade. And I can also select from here if the final grade is automatically released to students. So I would suggest that you would choose adjusted final grade, which would allow you to have more of an opportunity to control the release of what the final grade is to students. If you want to have that control over the final score being shown to them, then it would be recommended that you would choose the final adjusted final grade here. And if you wish to then have final grades automatically released, then you can check that box, or you can leave that box unchecked so that the final grade is released at a time of your choosing. So we'll just select continue there. Here is where you can decide how you're going to handle ungraded items. And this impacts both your view and what learners see. So here you can choose to drop ungraded items, which means that once there's a grade item in your grade book, that is not going to be it is not going to be counted within the final grade unless there is a grade put into that grading field. You can also choose to treat ungraded items as zero. And I would recommend that this one be used with caution, as if you input a grade item into your gradebook immediately, because it's going to read as an ungraded item, students would receive a grade of zero until a grade is put in that place. So it's recommended that you would choose ungraded items so that if it's not automatically assigning a grade of zero to students who just have not yet submitted it because the assignment is not yet due. You also have the option here to automatically apply of a grade of zero to any missing submissions once an assessment becomes overdue. And so if you would like to have that option automatically in your gradebook, then you just check the box there. And then this box, auto update, allows for any grade items that are entered into your gradebook, whether manually or automatically, to keep the final grade refreshed and updated. So we're going to continue there. And so the next step that we get to here is choosing, we're able to choose a grade scheme. And if there is some kind of grade scheme that your organization is using, you can go ahead and select that. We're going to stick to a percentage grade scheme here, and we're going to continue. I would like to display grades with without decimal places. So I'm going to put in zero for that and continue. Now this screen allows you to select the way that your students are viewing the gradebook. So it allows them to see points grade, the weighted grade. So the points grade is what you've given an assignment or a quiz or a discussion out of. So if it's out of 50, they would see what it is out of 50. They would also see the weighted grade if this is checked. So if we check these, the weighted grade, which is allowing them to see what the weight of that particular item is out of the course itself, so out of 100. And you may choose a grade scheme symbol if you had selected a grade scheme on the prior screen, or a grade scheme color if you would like. And for students, the student display, I'm going to select that they will not see any decimal places. And if you are evaluating by text, the maximum characters that you can display in the gradebook for text items is 50. We're going to leave that selected. And then you can check this box here if you would like learners to see the final grade calculation. So if you would like for them to see how the final grade has been calculated in significant detail, you can go ahead and check that. I'm going to leave that unchecked for now, as your syllabus would most likely include what the categories are and how the final grade is determined. I'm just going to leave that blank and continue. On the last step, we can review the options that we've selected in the wizard for the gradebook setup. So I can see the options that I have selected here. And if I am satisfied with them, I can go ahead and select finish. If I'm not, I can click the go back button. That'll take me back through the steps where I can make any changes that I would like. I'm just going to select finish. And so my grade book is set up, and I can then click on Manage Grades to begin to set up grade categories. Before we move on any further, I just want to draw your attention to the settings cog over here. So the setup wizard took me through the 7 steps of setting up the gradebook. If I would like to make any changes and I don't want to go through the wizard, I can click on settings here, and I've got three tabs across the top here of options that I can make changes to. I can manage the display options. So that's going to take me back through how things are displayed. I'm going to select the points grade here because I'd like for that to be showing as well. And here it says the number of columns, and there's a caution shown there. I'm just going to reduce that to 99 so that it must be a number that's equal to zero. It's between 0 and 100. So by selecting 99, that will remove that. I can save that page. And I can also tab over to make any changes to how this is going to display for students. And then on the calculation options, I can, again, make any adjustments over here that I would like to make. So this is just a way of making the changes to any of the options that were available in the wizard without going back through the 7 steps. So now that we've done the setup of the gradebook, we're going to go into this manage grades portion here. And from there is where I can set up my categories. So by selecting under new category, I can organize my gradebook into categories that will allow for grade items that I add to the grade book to be under the categories and then to be pulling from those percentages. So if, for instance, I have a course where I have allotted 20% for assignments, 20% for quizzes, 20% for discussions, and then 40% for the final exam, I would want to ensure that I set up my grade book with those categories. So as I enter grade items, then the grade items that I enter will be pulling from, if it's an assignment, from the 20% that's been allotted for assignments. And if it's a quiz, from the 20% that's been allotted for quizzes. So here, the first category that I'm going to set up is assignments. So I do that, and I'm going to give it a short name. And we're going to take a look in a little bit as to why it might be important to give it a short name. I'm going to show you what that looks like later. And here I'm going to put in that assignments are weighted 20% of the course grade. So when I put that in, down below, it's asking me about the distribution. How do I want that 20% to be distributed? Do I want it to be manually assigned to the grade items that I put in, which would mean that for each grade item that I put in under this grade category of assignments, I would need to weight those items manually out of, so to total 100% of this 20%. Or I can select distribute weights by points across the items in the category, or I can select to distribute the weight evenly across all items. So what this option would mean is if I have 5 grade items in the category of assignment, each item would be weighted 20% of the total assignment weight. If I have 4, each item would be weighted 25% of this weight. Okay. And then you can make any changes that you would like to the display options, how you like for students to see that. You can check those off. And then if you're finished, you can do save and close or save and new to create a new item. We're going to save and close. And you can see that that assignments category has been added with a weight of 20. And there's a little notice up here at the top saying that the final calculated grade sums to 20%, not 100. And what that's prompting you to do is to recognize that it's not totaling 100%. If I were to add all of my other grade categories, then it should total 100. Now we're gonna switch over into a course where the grade book has already been set up so that you can see. I'm gonna click into the grades tool here. And we're going to go into the manage grades. And here I have discussions, weekly quizzes. So my discussions are set up to have a weight of 30. My weekly quiz is 20. My assignments at 20%. There's a 10% amount for group work and a 20% amount for the final work and the final assignment. And those total to 100. Now, within each grade category here, as you can see under the discussion, I've got 3 grade items. And under discussions, let's go in and edit to see what the options were there. So I've got discussions, the full name, disc, a short name, the weight of 30%, and then I've elected to have the weight distributed evenly across the grade items. So that explains why with 3 items in that category, it's distributed evenly. If I were to add a 4th grade item, it would automatically adjust these weights to be 25%. The same kind of idea was set up here for the quizzes. And if you notice down here, this bonus one, it's set up to be an extra item that is not counted in the same way within the grade category, and it's got a weight of 5%. And then these other items are adjusted accordingly, and so on and so forth. So back when we had created the discussion category and given it a short name, I'm going to click over into the enter grade section of the grade book so that you can have a look at what that looks like. So in the enter grade section, we've got the discussion section here, and you can see that it's pulling the short name. So instead of discussion, it's got disc. And what that allows for is a reduction in how far across the screen your items are showing. So I can have short names with the category names as well as the grade items. So in this grade item, if I were to edit that, it doesn't have a short name. If I were to put one in, for example, like that, and save and close, it's just going to reduce, as you can see here, how much space that takes up. So if you'd like to conserve the real estate on your screen, the short names is a great idea. So before I get into what we're looking at on the screen here, I'm going to talk about just what you can see, the options that you have in this area in the gradebook. So when we first click on the grades tool up at the top here, I'm going to click on it again so that you can see which page it's going to land on. So we've got enter grades, manage grades, setup wizard. These are the pages within the gradebook. If I were to click on the grades tool in the nav bar, it lands on manage grades. You can determine for yourself in your own course which screen, which page you would like to land on when you click in the grades tool from the nav bar or from the course admin. And you can set that by clicking into the settings. And down at the bottom on the first tab, this personal display options, you'll see start page. And you can select the start page from here. So depending on the page that you want to land on, my start page is set to manage grades. And so that's why we land on that page from clicking on the grades tool in the nav bar. I'm going to change it to enter grades and save. So when I click on my grades tool from the nav bar, it's going to land on my enter grades page. And so in the enter grades, we've got a number of options here. If you've got some a course grading that has been done outside the environment, you can import them here. You can also export via CSV from the gradebook. If I click on this switch to spreadsheet view, it's going to do something really cool that allows me access to be able to update all of my grade items under every category in right across the board for any user all at once, making it really simple to edit and to update any grades that I would like to upgrade manually. We're going to go ahead and cancel that. I don't want to make any changes. And we're going to switch back to standard view. The more options button here allows me to hide and show columns that I'm not quite using. So if there is a column that you don't want to see to conserve the real estate on your screen, you can click the show hide columns. And with the checkbox, all of them are selected. I can click discussions and unclick. So this will ensure that none of the discussion items are showing up. This can be really helpful if you've got grades from the first term and you had a midterm and you don't want to be looking at those in the grade book anymore. That would be really helpful to reduce what you are seeing on your screen. I'm going to just go ahead and add those back. And then finally, there's an event log, which is awesome. If you are teaching a course with more than one instructor, you can see from the event log what someone else who has access to your grade book, so whether it be another instructor or a teaching assistant who would have access to the course, you can see from the log what the changes have been made to the gradebook are, if anything was created, deleted, and the date and time, the item. If something's been deleted, it can be restored from here. So this is just really great. If you're the only one using your gradebook and you've accidentally deleted something, be rest assured that it can be restored in there. From here, I can view my enter grades page by viewing by user. I can also view by sections. So if you have a number of sections to the course that you're teaching and you can view which students are in each section by selecting view by sections and then hitting apply. And as you will see there, I'm only looking at 3 students in section 1, and then I can see the students who are in section 2 from here by applying, and that will ensure that only those students are visible. I'm going to view by user, and so that is going to show the entire class. From here, I can select all and email all students. I can also, from each drop down here, I can preview each particular student. I can view the event log for that student. I can email that student, and I can also edit the bulk edit exemptions. We're going to get right into exemptions in a moment, but that option is there. So as you can see here, there are grade items, and there are some icons that you can see visible here. And this conversation icon just lets you know that that's for discussion. The quizzes one is denoted by a question mark, and the one for assignments looks like it's like a little Dropbox, something being put into a Dropbox there. The orange dots allows you to know that there is a new submission that is ungraded. And the information that's displayed here, I'm going to go over. So here we can see that there was a discussion out of 15. So it's showing that it was out of the points, 15. the student received 90%, and there's also a color that goes with that percentage. Whereas down here, you can see in this percentage range that the color is a different color than the one in this percentage range. So that these are the visual options that I had selected for this grade book. Okay. Now that we've seen that, I'm going to, for each grade item, we can see the properties. So for this discussion, it's a week 2 discussion. We can click into the properties and it's going to tell us how that grade item was set up, what the weight is, and so on and so forth, all the details about it. I can click here to edit that grade item. And so I can change any of the details that I would like to about that here. For each grade item, I can also enter grades. If I want to enter grades manually, we're going to talk about automatic syncing of grades as well. But I can edit manually. And here is where I can also make exemptions. So here you can see these students have been exempt from this assignment here. And I can, if I've made an error, I can select that student and I can click on exempt. And now it's waiting for a grade for that student. And I can type any feedback in here by clicking on the little pencil, and I can enter feedback here that would be seen by the student, and also any private comments. So the private comments would be for the instructor, anyone who has instructor view only to be able to see. We're gonna not save those changes. We're gonna go right back. And there are statistics that we can see for each grade item that's in the grade book. And from here, you can see that the statistics are can be viewed by user. So this is the statistic. These are the statistics for a class, and I can view it by sections. That becomes a little bit different, or the whole class. And then if I want to see individual user statistics, I click on this tab here, and then I can see those based on each individual user. I'm going to go back to the enter grades. So this is what it looks like from the instructor perspective. To see what the grade book looks like from a student perspective, we're going to take a look at Faith Alexander, the first student on the list there, in her grade book to see her view of that. So here we are in the course as Faith Alexander, that student. We're going to click on the grades tool in the nav bar. And from there, we're going to see that she can view her own grades. She can see what her overall grade is for discussions, how she's performed on each discussion, any feedback that she's gotten here. She got some written feedback as well as a video note feedback. Her quizzes are here. She can view her quiz attempts by clicking into each one there, and so on and so forth. So here also she has got an assignment that has a dropped grade. So this has been dropped. And if you click on the little icon there, it says dropped. And for more information, it says the grade has been dropped from the final assignment. Okay. All right. So now that we've had a look at all of the things in the gradebook, we are going to show you the real time saver. So Brightspace automatically syncs grades from tools like assignments, quizzes, discussions right into your gradebook. So we're going to go into the content, and this is we are in the new content experience here, which is awesome because for all of your assignments, you can see, we're going to click on assignments, discussions, quizzes, so that you can see what those look like when they're in your content area and you're using the new content experience. So this week two discussion, when it was created, I can see as the instructor the view of what the discussion is, rubrics that have been added, and a completion summary. I can also filter here by anyone who's posted, not posted, or exempt from the assignment. We can see it down here that the student, has been exempt. And so when I go in to when I go in to evaluate the discussion, once I put in an overall grade here, and if there are outcomes that I'm aligning, I've aligned the assignment against, I select those and then I publish. It would say publish here, except this has already been published. I can retract so that it says published. I put the grade in and then I publish. That automatically, that grade, we're gonna say continue grading. Whoops, we'll say publish anyway. And this is going to be input. It's gonna sync right away into the grade book. I'm gonna go back out to my content area so that I can show you the setup of how that is done to ensure that it syncs right with the grade book. And quizzes, as you can see here, we can see once a quiz is set up, if it's in the content area, and we're using new content experience, we can get all of this great information here about it, including what's in the grade book for it, and I can evaluate and that right away here. But here we're going to create, in this week two, we're going to create a new assignment. And I'm going to show you how to link that assignment to your gradebook right away. So we're going to put in here test assignment, and I'm going to make it an assignment out of 100 points. And I want it to be linked to my gradebook. So I'm going to create a new grade item and link it to the gradebook. The grade item is going to be called test assignment. I'm going to choose the category that I want to put it in. It's going to be under the assignments category so that it's pulling from that percentage weight. And I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to do all of the usual things that I do with the assignment, putting in the instructions, the due date, any availability dates, and so on and so forth. I'm going to make this visible to all students, and I'm going to save and close. And then we're going to pop over into the grade book to see that it is already there as a placeholder. So here I have this test assignment. You can see that that's there. I can evaluate all once my students make the submission. And if I go into the grades tool, I'm going to go down to where the assignments are. We can see that there's a placeholder for the test assignment. If I'd gone into the manage grades section, I would see here that there is in assignments, there is that test assignment there, and it is automatically adjusted the number of assignments here to be 3. So it's evenly distributed the weight across the 3 items that are in that category. So as long as an assignment, quiz, or discussion is linked, Brightspace will pull the grades and feedback right into the gradebook. No extra steps needed. Now we're going to take a look at the class progress tool, which gives you a centralized view of how your students are engaging in the course. And from here, we can quickly scan the progress of the entire class or drill down into individual student activity. The tool tracks several indicators by default. And so I'm going to access that up here from my nav bar. It says class progress here. Or if I didn't happen to have it there, I can always get it from the course admin tool. So clicking into class progress, I can see that it's from the instructor view that logins, content visited, grades, and quizzing is showing up in automatically here. I can, in my settings, adjust what I see across the top. So if I click into the settings in the class progress tool, I can make a change If I want to see something different than the login history, I get four options that I can see right across the top. I can replace this one if I don't want to see login history with a different option that I can choose from here. Um, and so you can make changes to the ones that you would like to see. But going back out, I can see grades right away. And if I just hover my mouse over each grade item, I can get a little bit more information on what each of these items happens to be. If I scroll down to the student and I hover across, I can see what the grade item that is showing up here is. If I click into Faith Alexander, I can get a really great summary of her progress and engagement in the course. So over on this side, I've got a whole lot of options of insight that I can gain on her engagement and progress. I can see the grades from here by clicking this drop down. I can see how she has done, when the modifications were made on those grades, and any feedback that she's received. Here's that one that had the written feedback as well as the video note for her. So one key benefit to this class progress tool is its connection to grades. So you can see how students are performing academically alongside their engagement. So you can see that from the academic progress, the grade side, as well as engagement in the course, the logins, the content visited, and so on. So now I'm just going to switch over to the student view of this so that you can see what learners see if they also have access to the class progress tool. So for our learner here, we've got our learner, Faith Alexander, and up at the top here, class progress. She's going to see her own class progress. So she's not going to be able to see anyone else's progress. So we've got the summary for her on this side. And by clicking into each one, she can see she can get a view of what she sees for her own progress. Okay. So finally, we're going to explore the Quick Eval tool from here. And so the Quick Eval tool helps instructors to stay on top of grading and feedback tasks. It is a really awesome tool. I'm going to go into the instructor view here so that we can find the Quick Eval tool. And I'm going to access the Quick Eval tool at the course level. So I'm going to go onto the course homepage where I've got a Quick Eval widget. And my Quick Eval widget allows me as the instructor to see any unevaluated items in the course. So this focus view, it's a focused view that supports instructors in managing grading workflows more efficiently. Items remain in the Quick Eval until feedback is published, ensuring nothing is overlooked. So scrolling down here, I can see that these are the items that I need to tend to. There's been an assignment that's been submitted, one of them of this variety, the business plan essentials. There's been one business fundamentals quiz that I need to evaluate, and two posts have been made to the week one discussion that I haven't yet gotten to. So this is just a really great way to see what needs to be tended to in the course. And from here, then you can, you know what needs your attention in terms of evaluation and feedback. I'm going to go up to the top here and up to my organizational page. And on my organizational page, there is a Quick Eval tool as well. And when I access the Quick Eval tool from the organization page, it provides a consolidated view of all of the unevaluated submissions across all the courses that the instructor is enrolled in. So for this instructor, Regina Davis, if I were to scroll down to the bottom, I can see all of the unevaluated submissions across all of the courses that she teaches. So she's in this She is doing a business intro to business course. She has a workplace wellness course that she's teaching, as well as business 200. So if I click into the view all activities tab, then I get the view of the business 201, intro to business, and the items that need her attention in terms of evaluation and feedback are here. She's got some options there. She can view them by activities. She can also view them by submissions. So whoever the students are, and it tells her what the courses are there. And if she begins to view by submission, if she were to click into this one from Janice Bauman, and she evaluates that from the workplace wellness, then she can go to another submission of another activity for workplace wellness, and so on and so forth. And she can click through. And as you can see here, now she's gone right on to the intro to business course with this. This is a different activity from a different course even. So the quick eval tool at the org level is really helpful in allowing you to be able to see your workflow in terms of evaluation and feedback for all of the courses that you teach in, and be able to have access to them without leaving the space, going from course to course, and be able to organize them. If I were to click on the activities here, these these pieces of information can be really valuable to help you to know what you have assessed for a particular assessment piece and what still needs to be done. So there's one new post, and you can see that you've already completed 1 out of 3, 0 evaluated, none published. By clicking on the options here for more actions, you can dismiss a particular item until the next submission's received for a specific date or forever. If I click on specific date, you can customize the date when you want that particular activity to show up again if you don't want it to be visible in your quick eval tool. For now, you'll get to it when you're able to. So you can really set that there. All right. So to recap, we explored how the grades tool helps you to set up a clear organized gradebook that syncs with assignments, quizzes, and discussions. We looked at how the class progress tool provides insight into student engagement and connects directly with grade data for a fuller picture of learner performance. And finally, we saw how the quick eval tool simplifies your grading workflow by collecting all unevaluated items into one place, whether at the course or organization level. These tools work together to make grading, tracking, and supporting students more efficient and effective. We'd love to hear from you. We would appreciate your feedback on our post-session survey. Your feedback helps us to improve our offerings for future sessions to meet your needs better. To participate, you can either scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the chat. There are also a couple of links in the chat that will direct you to the Brightspace community, where you can learn more about our approach to product feedback and learn more about participating in user experience research. We would appreciate it if you would take the time to check those out too. We invite you to join the D2L Champions program. Being a champion gives you the opportunity to receive points for attending webinars, submitting blog posts, and even giving us reviews online. You can then redeem these points for gift cards and additional D2L services. The link to sign up to be a champion is in the chat for you as well. This may have been your first webinar with us, but we have many more to come. Here's a look at some of the upcoming sessions. As a special note, we'll have a fellow educator presenting during our session this coming February. The links to register for these upcoming sessions and our sessions overview page can be found in the chat. And speaking of webinars, our training team hosts 2 monthly sessions for all Brightspace users. The first is a Q&A drop-in session where you can get your Brightspace questions answered in real time. The second is focused on what's new in Brightspace using our monthly release notes. These sessions give you free access to our D2L training team in a way that you might not get otherwise. Be sure to check them out if you're available. You can find a link with more information on those sessions in the chat. Thank you so much for having joined us today. As a reminder, you'll be sent an email with a link to our YouTube playlist where a link to this recording will be posted within the next week. And the email will also have a copy of the slide deck and the Q&As from today's session with a link to our post-session survey. There are resources available at the end of the slide deck as well that will provide a deeper dive into the things that I showed you in the demo today. And if you'd like to learn more about anything that you saw today, we encourage you to either reach out to your Brightspace administrator at your institution or search the resources within the Brightspace community. Thanks again. We appreciate your time and we hope to see you next month.